The end of the world is truly at hand as a massive meteor speeds toward Earth.
The final mission to save mankind has failed. The 70-mile-wide asteroid known as Matilda is set to collide with Earth in exactly 3 weeks' time.
So Dodge decides to seek out a high school sweetheart with the help of his neighbor Penny. Instead, Dodge decides to get Penny back to her parents in seeking a friend for the end of the world.
We have all just seen it. Who wants to start?
I will.
Okay, you go.
All right. Going into this movie, you think it's going to be a comedy, but it's actually really surprising how emotional this movie is.
And they took a familiar idea, which is the end of the world, and they made it unique to what we've seen before, where in other movies they always focus on the disaster aspect and how to fight the disaster, but this movie just focused on the people, which is why it was so emotionally engaging.
It's a very interesting approach to a premise that has been told to us before. And I think that it worked. I agree with you both. The characters are really what are important in this movie, and we get a really good sense of what Steve Carell's character of Dodge is struggling with, and what Keira Knightley's character of Penny is struggling with.
What they did really well is they had these two characters that just seemed like friends at the very beginning. You have Keira Knightley's character who, for all intents and purposes, really wants to help Steve Carell's character find his long-lost love because she feels really bad about something that she did.
Right,
which kind of
she's a romantic.
Exactly, she's a romantic, and it turns out that he's also a little bit of a romantic, but you don't really find this out until, near the end when they realize, oh, they're very similar to each other.
And this is a road trip movie, and with road trip movies, it's always very episodic. But at least with this movie, the episodes were either very funny or very tense, and I really appreciated that.
Look at this, my friend. This is a Don Ramon cigar. This is the hardest cigar in the world. Can you chop those a little louder, please?
That parallel going back and forth is another thing that I think works really well because, like I said, it's the end of the world, and I'm sure there will be moments that are very funny and you're just kind of looking back on the absurdity of life, and then there'll be a moment where you realize the world is going to end. There is no hope for humanity.
Okay, well, I think I'm finally gonna take that pottery class. And, well, I'm gonna eat whatever I want and totally not even care. Just
Go, girl.
Thanks.
And what's wonderful about this movie is that it's not a cop-out. It's not the Hollywood ending. I'm not gonna say any more about it, but it was such a great ending.
I mean, that scene where he gets absolutely hammered in the park and wakes up with the dog tied to his leg and then the note on his chest that says sorry. You understand why that whoever the owner is left the dog. And then, of course, Steve Carell, being the character that he is, takes care of the dog without even thinking about it.
It's genius. It's very indicative of his character, and it's just great to have a cute dog, along with you throughout the road trip of a movie.
Yeah.
And the casting of Steve Carell was great. I mean, I think that he would be the only actor who could really deliver that character the way he did.
What about Keira Knightley? I like her. There's some things that I haven't liked her in recently, but I haven't seen the good stuff. I haven't seen Atonement and A Dangerous Method, but she does a little bit of this face that I've been noticing. Salim, show her the face. It's really funny.
Wait, where did Salim go? When did Keira Knightley get here?
Unfortunately, she does that face a couple of times here, and the camera kind of just lingers on it.
I looked at you when it happened, and we were like...
I was just like,
But she was impressive in this movie, though.
That being said,
she was really
She was good.
good.
She brought the emotion. I really felt the connection between her and Steve Carell, especially at the end. So granted, she was good, but I thought that the director, considering that she had also written it and the character is maybe a little bit
like her
a little bit, spent a little bit more time with monologues.
Oh,
and stuff
yeah.
But that's nitpicking.
And she gave one of my favorite monologues, I think, that I've seen in a really long time in a film about vinyl and how she is a collector of vinyl and that it's so much more important and there's so much more responsibility having a physical piece of music and having to carry it around, and like you love your music more, and I felt a really personal connection to that because I love vinyl and I'm like the same
that
exact
monologue.
way.
You
hated it?
Because with the editing, I was like, this is so
Why?
long. That part I felt bored. I was actually very bored by that monologue.
I liked it because it was such an interesting character.
Yeah, it's
quirk.
a trait. It's like
everybody has something that they're carrying with them at the end of the world, and she's
carrying
some records.
I wish she would just say it in one line. It kept going on.
That's because you don't like vinyl.
You don't understand.
I don't like you anymore, Teresa. How dare you?
We have actually a really great supporting cast, including Connie Britton from American Horror Story,
Patton Oswalt from Everything
Funny, and
Gillian Jacobs from Community,
Martin Sheen. William Peterson, who is in CSI, has a funny cameo, which is very, very random.
Funny and like terrifying and weird.
And you're like, oh, okay.
This was actually Lorene Scafaria's directorial debut, and she's written 2 movies now, this one and then Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Would you be my boyfriend for 5 minutes? What? Please, just go with it, okay?
And in road trip movies, because it's the episode, if the people are boring, the movie will start getting boring. So that is a testament to the director where she got really good performances out of all these minor characters.
That scene in Frenzies was like one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time.
Hi, welcome to Frenzies, where everyone's your friend.
I can't believe you guys are still open. And do you know what? It's his birthday today.
Why didn't you tell me that?
Yeah, we should go.
It seems pretty clear what we're all gonna vote, but let's take our tickets and do it anyway.
A very unique end-of-the-world movie filled with lots of emotion and lots of comedy. See it.
It's nice to see a movie that's emotionally engaging and that offers a unique take to an old premise. See it.
It's a great movie, and it's not for everyone, but I think you'll like it if you enjoy weird, introspective romantic dramedies. So I'm gonna say see it.
Wahoo! Yay! Resounding see it!
Yeah, dude brought in a wolf last week. It's crazy.